Good morning, all of you, class. I'm Durgesh Kumar Pandey. Class, I'm going to explain a chapter in class 12 and India's foreign policy. Class, in this chapter, we have a topic India's relation with the neighbors. You know what is South Asia, class? South Asia is the which are the country here like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Maldives. These are the country, and sometime Afghanistan is also coming in South Asia. So this region is known as South Asia, class. And class, today I am going to explain about relation with this neighboring country of India. First, from the Pakistan. You know, the relation between Pakistan and India was very bad from the starting. In 1947, a war was organized between India and Pakistan over the issue of Kashmir, and again in 1965 both the country was involved in a war, and after this a Tashkent agreement was signed between our Lal Bahadur Shastri and General Ayub Khan of Pakistan in 1966. Class, again in 1971 over the issue of Bangladesh in the eastern Pakistan. Both the country was again fight to come in front of each other because in the eastern Pakistan the people of eastern Pakistan was exploited or treating by the western Pakistan's ruler very badly. So eastern Pakistan, where most of the peoples were Bengali, so they feel neglected and second class of citizen like her. So after this in 1971, after election, when Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was won the election in the eastern Pakistan, and in western Pakistan, Bhutto's party was elected, but the Western leaders have not accepted the result of Eastern Pakistan. Ki Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and their Awami party win the election in the Eastern Pakistan. So Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested, and on that time the Western Pakistanis were suppressed the culture of Eastern Pakistan, and more than 80 lakhs migrants were come to India. From that time, India was help to people of Bengali in the eastern Pakistan, and finally India and Pakistan was going to war, and after during this war in December 1971 India liberate the Bangladesh. Okay, it is the whole area of eastern Pakistan. A new country was emerged in 1971, and after this a similar agreement was signed between Zulfikar Ali Bhutto of Pakistan and our Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So during these war, the issue of Kashmir was uh, unresolved, but due to Tashkent Agreement and Simla Agreement, both the leaders were come and talking, and they were decided lastly they will solve their problem by discussion by the Simla Agreement. According to Simla Agreement, the dispute between India and Pakistan was settled by a discussion. Okay, class, and again uh, in 1998, the Kargil event was also make the tension between India and Pakistan, and there is a tension between India and Pakistan over the Siachen glacier, and uh, both want to their position on the Siachen glacier, and when 1947 and 48 the war over the Jammu and Kashmir, most of the part of India was liberated from the tribals attack from the, and but some part of Jammu and Kashmir was remained with the Pakistan, which is known as POK, and the most part of the Jammu and Kashmir was with India, and so Jammu Kashmir was divided in two parts. Some part was in India, and some part is in to Pakistan, which are known as POK class. Class ISI, Inter Services Intelligence. This is the intelligence agency of Pakistan, which was many times trying to create a disturbance in India. They support the terrorism to disturb the India by terrorism. They send militants. They send terrorists in India for disturbance class, and many time India and Pakistan was come for cooperation also, like through Indus Water Treaty 1960, both the country was come and signed the Indus Water Treaty 1960 with the help of World Bank. Both the country have was a dispute over this, but after the mediating of World Bank, India and Pakistan was signed the Indus Water Treaty 1960 class. And the next thing, demarcation line in the secret in run of Kutch class. This is another field where the tension is till today we realize, because the secret in run of Kutch, these are the not an important part, not important land, but there is not clear demarcation between India and Pakistan over the secret in run of Kutch. So both have a dispute, and both the country will trying to solve their problem by the discussion. Secret is important because this is situated near the sea, and resources in the sea is very important. So this is the another problem where we have a need to discussion, and we have waiting a solution class. So India and Pakistan was the relation India and Pakistan was the leader like Atal Bihari Vajpayee was during the BJP government was starting a Lahore bus yatra, and again our PM Narendra Modi was going to Pakistan, meet Nawaz Sharif and trying to make the relation friendship, but Pakistan was not ready to for a good relation. They were not cooperated India. So many time uh, by ISI was Indian Inter-Service Intelligence was organized as terrorism in India, and ISI was trying to disturb the India by bombs attack or serial killing, and he want to Kashmir, so he created disturbance. You are hearing the issue of Kashmiri Pandit, how the terrorist killed the Kashmiri Pandit, and they were enforced to kill the Kashmir, and they were come in the other part of the country. So the problem of India and Pakistan is over the Kashmir. So both the leaders are have trying to solve this problem by the discussion class, and but this ISI and some terrorist groups were not ready to pacify the relation between India and Pakistan. So they some many times they organize a bomb blast, and India was attacking their terrorist camp. So our leader was trying to make the relation good with the Pakistan, but due to some reason it was not successful. Pakistan was not cooperate. So after this, the leader of the both India and Pakistan will trying to search a path for peace class. Now class we are going to over next class Bangladesh. Class Bangladesh was liberated in 1971 with the help of class Bangladesh was got the independent with the help of India, but Bangladesh was not ready to take their peoples, which were who were coming in India during the before the 1971, during the suppression of the Western Pakistani leaders. So this was a problem, and he was not taking such peoples who are coming from Bangladesh to India. And next problem is Bangladesh was not giving their territory to India to go to northeast, and the government of Bangladesh was not allowed this. India is going northeast via the territory of Bangladesh, and also there is a dispute between the Bangladesh and India over the issue of water. Brahmaputra and Ganga, both are the rivers are coming from India and going to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh was not happy with the sharing of water, and Bangladesh was saying that India was behaving a regional bully over this area. So this is the one of the problem, and the class both the country are coming for many time for a discussion and trying to solve the water dispute. And India was looking Bangladesh as a look-east policy because India want to, with the help of Myanmar in northeast, India want to assist the Southeast Asian countries. Bangladesh was the part of our look-east policy. We want to assess in Southeast Asia, northeast via Myanmar. But there is a problem. Bangladesh was not cooperating with the Indian government, and due to this, our Indian leaders and want to take the natural gases via Bangladesh from the Myanmar. So Bangladesh was not again permit the natural gases which are going from Myanmar to via Bangladesh. So these are the problems, and many times Muslim fundamentalist terrorist groups are sitting in the Bangladesh, and the government of Bangladesh supporting them, this Islamic groups, these terrorist groups against the India. And the Bangladesh government was saying that India was being a regional bully over this area, over the sharing water, and India want to cooperate of Bangladesh to assess in the Southeast Asia. So Bangladesh is the part of look-east policy. Now come on the Nepal class. Nepal is our neighbor countries, and the relation between India and Nepal was very good. Culturally, both are joined together, and we have a very good relation with the Nepal, because if Indian want to go in the Nepal, there is no need of visa. Without visa, Indian can travel to Nepal, and in our Indian army, many Nepali soldiers were recruited because they were good fighters, soldiers in the mountain area. So these are the reason both the relation has a very good relation. But after some time we are looking in the Nepal, the monarch government is changed, displaced, and democratic government was established, and growing relation between India and growing relation between Nepal and China was not good for India, and most of the time Nepal was listening the talking with the China, and many times Nepal neglected Indians, and over in the current time there is some water dispute also between the India and Nepal. So the good relation between two countries was eroding due to some region, but India was investing in the field of hydroelectricity in the Nepal, and some leaders of Nepal is saying that India was interfering in the Nepal and their sovereignty. Similarly, the next country is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a very important for India as a strategic location in the Indian Ocean. Our relation with the Sri Lanka culturally very good from thousands of the years. Our Tamils were going in search of job in the Sri Lanka during the colonial period. So our Indian government was very careful the welfare of Tamils, and we will trying to solve the conflicts of Sinhalese and Tamil in the Sri Lanka. Our Indian government was our Indian government want to welfare of Tamils. So in 1988, Indian peacekeeping forces were going there to pacify Sri Lanka, but unfortunately, our peacekeeping forces were involved in war, and that is why the relation between India and Sri Lanka was disturbed. Our Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi was murdered due to this by the Tamils because he was sending peacekeeping forces in the Sri Lanka. So India was trying to help Sri Lanka, and in the current time our government was trying to make the good relation with the Sri Lankan government, and trying to pacify the Sri Lanka, favor the Tamils welfare also. These are the parts of our foreign policy. But recently China was going to involve in this area by investment, by loans. So India was very worried about this. Sri Lanka was not going under the influence of China, and the tension which are in the Sri Lanka was now pacified by the Scandinavian countries like both Denmark, Sweden, Norway, they were involved talking over the Sri Lankan government and Tamils to pacify them. So as a strategic location, Sri Lanka was very good. So India was trying to make a good relation. Now at current time, India was develop a port in the Sri Lanka and trying to India and Sri Lanka have a free trade agreement between two countries to enhance the relation class. Then the next is the Myanmar class. In the current time, the Myanmar government was under the military because the result of election was going in favor of Aung San Suu Kyi, and their army was saying that this election is not conduct a proper way. So they not accepted the result of election and not and house arrest to Aung San Suu Kyi. And now Myanmar was under the military rule. The issue of Rohingya Musliman, they were going, they were living in the Myanmar from many years. So now Myanmar government was not accepted them. So Rohingya Musliman was displaced there, and they were coming Bangladesh in India, and sometimes the Pakistan or some others were using them as a terrorism to spread their terrorism. So Myanmar was very important for India because it was the our neighbor in the northeast, and by Myanmar we want to assess in the Northeast Asia. So some China and Pakistan are using Myanmar to spread the terrorism in India. So our country was taking so many actions against the counter terrorism. Our Indian government organized so many operations against terrorism. The government of India and Myanmar was very hopeful for the future. But today, Myanmar was under the influence of China, and we are very worried about the relation with the Myanmar class, and we want to improve the relation with the Myanmar because in via Myanmar we are going to Northeast Asia, and